if she's my friend, but I like him more, if he nice and don't deserve it,
I'm snitching.
I'm snitching on you.
So girls' code is only when it applies, guys.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Real and Relatable podcast. I'm Ma,
I'm LC.
and we have a special guest today. This is our good friend, AJ.
AJ, yep. Hello. Hi.
Welcome, AJ. We're super excited to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
And before we get started on today's episode, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you know when our episode is dropping. For today's episode, because we have our special guest with us today, we will be talking about friendship and girl code. How would you define what girl code is?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Oh,
I mean, does it mean that you're like there for each other and you're like protecting each other? Because I'm thinking bro code means you're like covering up for each other and protecting each other, right? So hopefully it means the same thing for girls.
Okay, what do you think girl code?
Yeah, I think girl code is kind of protecting your group of girlfriends. If they're doing something scandalous, maybe you kind of cover it up, or if they're doing something that is that needs your help and support, you're there and to help them, like
You don't judge, you just help and protect and support.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think girl code for me is more so my loyalty is to my friend in there. I don't know if girl code applies to a guy friend. Do you guys think girl code applies to a guy friend?
It all depends. Maybe like if this is a longtime best friend that I've had, and then maybe him and his wife are having issues. I don't know. I don't know if I would protect him perfectly. I would maybe drop hints to his wife.
Really?
Yeah, because like I always end up being friends with his wife. Like all my guy friends, even if they're best friends, I do end up being good friends with their wives. So, boy, you better watch out. Even though I'm like his best friend, I might have to go and drop hints to his wife. Be like, maybe you need to look on his cell phone a little
But
bit
wouldn't you
more,
have a conversation with him first? I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? It's not cool. Like,
Oh, definitely. I would confront
first.
him. Yeah.
And because he's supposed to be like that, your friend, or you're the one who introduced you to the wife, right? You were friends with him first, right?
Correct, yeah. But I always feel like I always would want to trump my guy friend, best friend. Because I do have a group of guy friends that I'm really close with. Yeah. But my girlfriends and us have all ended up being really great friends with their wives.
Yeah.
And so I would say that I would, despite my relationship with my best guy friend, I would still trump over and maybe protect his wife. Because I don't know. I feel like I'm a girl's girl. Like, I just learned that
girl's
term.
girl.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just learned the term. So, like, you support another girl. You
Yeah.
know, even though she's a stranger or whatever, you still support her. And I feel like I would still probably support the girl because I wouldn't want that done to me, you know?
I think I'm either. I'm loyal to who my friend is, and I'm gonna have a conversation with them first.
The way I understand a girl's girl is that you favor female friendships over male, and you would, in like certain situations, you would pick the female side over the male side.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of it. No, I tend to be more logical, so I pick whichever side that I resonate with, or that whatever it is. It's not really gender based, but I'm a girl's girl in the way where I want women to succeed. I want women to be happy. I want But if they're delusional, then no, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, let me give you a scenario of like a girl's girl. So let's just say if you were talking to a guy and you find out he has a girlfriend, a girl's girl, well, at least how I understand it, would tell the girlfriend, like, hey,
Okay.
I didn't know he had a girlfriend, and we've been...
Do you know the girl?
No, you don't.
No, then why am I going out of my way to go and tell her? Yeah. I don't know. Like, I just don't feel like it's my business.
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had toxic relationships where I do go back to the ex that he's seeing, or even like another girl that he's seeing. I would approach her. Because at the end, it's really about, I want to make sure that she knows and she's aware that something's being done to her too, because I was caught off guard as well, and I didn't know. And I'm kind of the innocent party too, you know, kind of like he's the one who started stuff, you know. So I would want to make sure that she knows what she's getting herself into. You know, there's also like a Meta or Facebook group right now where there's girls who are like online putting up pictures of men who they're dating.
Oh,
sure that
She's talking about this.
Yeah, yeah,
Are
I
you
thought
dating this guy? What is it called? Are you dating?
Are
this
we
guy?
dating the
Are
same
we-
person?
yeah, I found that really interesting that there's a group out there that's like
In every city, almost every major city.
wow, yeah. And so it's like so I would say that's like a girl's girl kind of like group, you know? Yeah.
I'm not sure, because for me, I feel like, is that being a girl's girl, or is that insecurity, or is that like you've just been through some really hard relationships?
Oh, you're talking
or-
about the group. Oh,
yeah, the
okay.
group, and the purpose of it. Like, if you are going on there, it means you've been in some toxic relationship, and now you're like afraid, and now you really want to check on all the guys that you're dating, you know?
If you have an inkling that he's dating someone else, why would you still want to date him?
Yeah.
I guess that's my question. You know,
Yeah, but going back to your question,
Scenario.
yeah, I haven't really been in that situation, but if I were, I feel like women, and this is my personal feeling, now all women are like this, but I feel like a lot of women are delusional, are emotional, and don't, I get the sense that if I were to tell them, they would just be upset with me in the first place.
Sometimes,
They're
yeah.
not gonna be like, oh my God, thank you so much, I thought he was cheating on me. They would just turn it around on me, you know that. So that's why it's for me, it's not my job to go back to her and say, hey, he was talking to me and I found out that he's with you. Like, because I feel like women are not appreciative of these things. Not everyone, but
not all.
Yeah.
I think there has been. Well, I've heard more stories now of the girl actually being appreciating them, reaching out because
that's good.
because you know they haven't been able to find any real evidence, you know,
Yeah.
and they're just waiting for like hard evidence
Yeah.
of their significant other cheating. And so when a girl does reach out to them and he is cheating, they're like, okay, thanks. Because I used to think that way too. Is like, no, like if he's a snake, she'll figure that out on her own, or she will, like he eventually will show his real self, you know.
She'll catch him. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not 5 months from now, it's 5 years from now.
Yeah, I don't know. So does that make me not a girl's girl?
And it all depends of what type of story he's also
Feeding the other
Feeding
person.
her, yeah.
exactly.
Like, oh, she's just a crazy girl. She's always reaching out to me. She's always
Yeah.
interested in me.
The
And
men are always victims.
yeah, right. So I'm like, I don't know. There's been a lot of stories on like TikTok and Instagram where, you know, people are calling other people out on social media, right? Where let's say they're on an airplane. They're like, hey, if your man's name is John and he's on his way to Memphis, Tennessee, and your name is whatever, just so you know, I saw his text message. He was texting this other girl named Jane, telling her that he loves her and can't wait to see her too. And then, of course, TikTok always does its magic, and they always find the girlfriend. And so there's a huge trend going on that, and people are like, they're doing that because they're a girl's girl. I'm gonna call you out. But I'm like, are you doing the Lord's work, or are you just being messy? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly. So I feel like it's not about being a girl's girl. Like, you have to really think about what you're doing, be mindful.
Yeah.
But of course, if you truly feel like this guy is a predator, this guy is doing some really mistreating her, and she doesn't deserve it, whoever she is, even if I don't know her, then yeah. By all means. But
yeah, did you have a situation like that with your friends? Like you?
yes. So yeah, I had this good friend, and they've been married since like high school. And it's funny because he's always super raunchy with all the girls and like makes
Red
raunchy
flag.
jokes and like that. And I just always laughed it off and brushed it off, right? Thinking like, oh, that's Bill, you know? And so I just like always brushed it off. And then one year it was, I forget, was it her birthday or his birthday? This was in New York. We all went to like this like huge lounge club thing, and it was like packed. And there was a new girl, like a young girl that came, joined the group. We like pre-partied?
Yeah.
They know. At their
pre-drinking? Yeah.
at their place, and then went to this lounge, right? And then the new girl showed up at the place, whatever, he's does his thing, So we all go to the lounge, and we're all on the dance floor dancing, and she goes, "Oh, I need to use the restroom," and he goes, "Oh, okay, I'll show you where it is. I'll take you, like, because I need to use the restroom too." And they start to walk away. So I tell my friend, I almost said her name, and say, "Oh shoot, I need to use the restroom too." And she was like, "Well, you better hurry up and follow them, because it was my first time at this place, and they're regular there, so they know the place." So I start, looking for them and trying to part the sea to find them, because there's so many people. And like, as the sea parted, I see them, and she's in front and he's behind her, and he just goes and smacks her ass and grabs it, right?
Wow.
And I just like didn't know what to do. I just like let the sea close, and I was like, I'm going back to my friend immediately. I can't even go to the restroom. I can't even follow them to the restroom because I'm scared of what I'm going to see next, right? So I go back and I tell her, "Hey, I saw this, and I'm like, I don't know what to do right now, and like I just feel like I have to tell you. I'm really concerned." And she just blew it off. She's like, "Oh, that's Bill. He always does crazy things like that,
No.
And I just was like so surprised by that reaction that eventually I sort of just like removed myself from the situation and from being friends with them, because like I said, I couldn't be friends with someone who's delusional or who would preserve their relationship and stay in a toxic relationship and be unhappy and just refuse to see the reality of it. And I get it, there's a long history of them being together, so it's really hard to leave. But I think as a friend looking in, it made me really uncomfortable. I couldn't support it, and it just made me feel sad for her and the whole situation. And so I couldn't stay friends with them.
Yeah.
I think that's a tough situation. And I mean, and you did the right thing by telling her. And you give her the information, and she decides what she wants to do with it.
Exactly.
And then it makes me sad, because like then it makes me feel like I can't be friends with her.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's really hard, because I feel like then I'm not a girl's girl, because I'm not staying there and not supporting her and not like being a shoulder for her to cry on and not being there, but I can't have that around me, I just can't.
Oh, yeah. I can see what you
Yeah.
mean by people are saying you're not a girl's girl. It's like,
can't-
well, you saw that happen. You know that, the relationship might fall apart. Why wouldn't you be there for her when that
Yeah.
happened?
But is it really falling apart? I mean, if she's kind of delusional and she's kind of like stating like,
And accepting it?
then you know that maybe they have an open relationship that you don't know of, like,
Yeah.
or maybe she's quite all right. And as long as he has a certain amount of boundaries or something, like maybe hitting the ass was okay for her.
Yeah.
But as long as she knows that he's
It's not okay in my book.
Yeah, it's
it's not
like,
okay.
as long as he's not sleeping with the girl or making out with her or they're not
Yeah.
kissing.
Yeah.
But any physical touches are okay by me.
Yeah.
Like, some people have different,
But I wish she would have said that, though, if that were the case, right? She, like say, "Oh yeah, we," like I have friends who have open relationships, like, and I'm cool with that because they're cool with it and they are openly telling me so that I don't get the wrong idea if I see something,
Yeah.
So I'm fully aware and understand those kinds of situations, but it just, I don't know, it made me really sad, actually. And I just
being mistreated.
yeah. So like if something is like then emotionally affecting me, then I don't know, I just don't like having that kind of energy around me.
Yeah, the same
know,
with
and
me.
if-
Like
yeah.
if I know that they're kind of a shady person or their morals are not what they're
Yeah,
portraying it to
exactly.
be.
Yep.
I do kind of like
have
then
a
start
hard time.
distancing myself because I'm like, I don't want that in my life
Yeah.
because that's just drama.
Yeah.
Drama.
Yeah. And even if it's not drama, like I just didn't want to have that like negative energy around me, or just I didn't want to see her sad all the time, or just see like
Oh, that is emotional.
you know what I mean? For sure.
I would have done like a light check-in with her just to see how she was doing, knowing that like maybe potentially he is cheating on her,
Yeah.
I don't know. But if she's delusional, I can't help.
There's nothing you can do with those people. And it's
Yeah.
emotionally draining to be around people in toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Because I know I was in one, and I know it's very draining for my friends to be around me during that time. And thankfully, they stuck around me. They stuck around through my terrible years. But, everyone.
It could be my trauma with my mother, seeing her suffer and like not really wanting to be around that, not really wanting to see
Oh,
that.
I
you
can
know?
see that.
So I can't be around women who are weak. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I cannot be around that. I cannot.
Can't walk
yeah.
away. There was what was that? I was reading a few years ago about a lady who stated that she was in a toxic relationship, but she wasn't fully aware it was toxic.
Yeah.
But her friends all knew that their relationship was really toxic, and none of them approached her about the toxic relationship. And she said only years later, after she had broken up with the guy, did her friends go, "Yeah, you guys were really toxic. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You're always crying and sad." Like, and then she said to them, like, if you
Why
guys
didn't you
knew that I was in a toxic relationship, why didn't you tell me so that I could have gotten out of the relationship faster?
No, because I'm going to disagree with her on that. Because, the thing is that when you're in a toxic relationship, it doesn't matter what anyone tells you. Even if you were a friend, you're straight up to their face, he is not a good person. He doesn't treat you well. You cry all the time. If you're in this relationship, you're kind of trapped in this like mind fuck, right? Where you're like, oh, well, you don't really know him.
Exactly.
Like you don't know him like how I know him.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what anyone says. You have to get yourself out of that. So I don't think it's fair for her to say that to her friends, because it's on you to get yourself out of that.
I do think that you might get out of it quicker. A month quicker, a week quicker, a day quicker than you would.
Yeah.
But
Maybe,
we do always talk about it. It's like, if it's not time, it's not time.
Yeah.
You're going to leave when it's time, know. Nobody will be able to tell you anything,
Yeah.
It's true. You're in denial.
But you're in denial. You're the whole time. You're like, he's great. Okay, I'm sorry that he argued with you. I'm sorry that he's a little bit like obnoxious. But he's actually a good person. There's always that but, But, eventually, once you understand the full picture, then once you're ready.
Yeah. Once you're ready and you're out, then you can see what everyone else saw. Mm-hmm. But until then, I don't think it's fair for her to be like, no, you guys should have told me. I mean, maybe they could have dropped hints, but that wasn't gonna do anything.
Yeah,
that wasn't gonna really.
And
help
I
her.
think one thing too, I think with about LC's story is also that, like, I think if you already saw something like that where he kind of physically hit somebody or was physically like sexual to them, you're going to continue seeing more, and it's just then I think that's the thing, is that once you start seeing more, then you're going to feel like you're going to have to confront them, and if you confront them, if you have any morals, right, then it gets more ugly, and then you're now getting deeper into the relationship where you really
then you're too involved.
You're too involved at that point. And I think I know that I've been with friends who have been in really toxic relationships too, and it turned into a really abusive relationship.
Oh, man.
And then what it did was it kind of spun onto me too. Like, the guy started like writing to me and texting me and saying really mean things to me, because he was like, because I'm protecting her. She's at my place. We're hanging out. She's wanting to get away. And then he's texting me like, where is she? I know she's with you. Like, and then it's like, he's coming over and trying to put flowers on my car, or like, it's like really weird stuff, and you're kind of like, it gets really creepy, because you're like, okay, I'm gonna cut you both off, because if you can't leave him, and it's definitely very violent. And now he's coming over to my house. He's knocking on the door. He's confronting me about trying to protect you. And then you go back to him anyways. Then I'm gonna continue getting into this physical relationship with you guys, which is going to be more domestic fights.
And you might get harmed in the way.
Even in our community, there was stories back in the 90s where best friends were hanging out and helping them move out of their house. The ex-husband came in and killed the whole family, both of them. And so that's very violent. That's a real thing,
But I think, I would agree. I think it's hard to be stuck in those situations and try to be a good friend, because then you also have to think about your own safety as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back to girl code, because I know we talked.
Serious.
Because I know we started talking about girls.
The domestic violence.
Toxic relationships. Sorry, guys.
What are some girl code that you guys have for you and your friend. Mine would be like, one of mine would be like, my girl code with my friends is, and this maybe come off stupid, but if we're out somewhere and a guy comes and hit on you, I automatically see him as that's your dude. Like he is now off limits.
Yes.
Yeah. He is a brother. We don't cross that path anymore.
No, yeah.
Even if you two don't make it, you guys don't date, I don't care. Too bad.
Unless he
what?
comes to talk to you and you're like, oh, like or
yeah.
me,
Yeah.
and I go, oh, this is my friend Ma, and I'm actually deflecting and making
that's different.
him
I'm
talk-
talking
yeah.
about he comes and straight up hit on your friend.
yeah
Then to me, he's off limits.
yeah
I'm no longer interested
yeah
in this guy.
yeah totally 100%.
Well, yeah, when you have a girlfriend and when you have a wife, usually those guys are dead to me. Like that's how it is for me. You're pretty much dead.
But what about in a club when you're just out or a club
Like,
or lounge
you-
or whatever,
let's say you
and a
be
guy
out-
just comes straight to talk to me, but you're like, damn, he's hot, but if
Would you still
if she
pursue him?
doesn't like him,
No.
would you still go? That's
Yeah.
the thing, because you know why I wouldn't go after him, because I wasn't his first choice.
Oh, so
So now it's all about me. It's all about me.
It's true.
So
it's her ego.
yeah, it's my ego. Nope, boy, no. That she was your first choice. Don't come and talk to me after that. You know?
Exactly. I agree.
That's funny.
Not about girl code. It's about me.
You hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I give you,
LC code. Okay.
yeah, I'm not giving you a chance anymore.
But I agree. If someone came directly to talk to somebody, he's off limits now. Like
Yeah.
I agree.
Would you guys say exes are off limits?
yes.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
Would you say ex friends with benefits are off limits?
Ew, yes.
Yeah, 'cause you
Ew.
definitely know that they slept with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends with benefits.
Exactly. No, that's even more disgusting.
Yeah, no.
That's funny. Okay, I was just trying to see how far your girl code goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about the clubs and going to the bars, I would say that mine is like if us girls arrive together, I would make sure that all of us leave together at the same time. Like I know,
yeah.
I know that there's some times when the girl does hook up with a guy and they
Yeah.
really want to see each
As
other.
long as she's safe, I know she's somewhere safe, then okay, fine.
Oh no, I take it even more protectively. Like
Oh, so,
I'm like
so you cock block?
cock block. I just say, look, my friend arrived with me. She is having a good time, and if she's a little intoxicated, I'm also going to say, you know, let's get your number, let's get your social media. She'll call you the next day, you know, or you can call her.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
yeah, I'd rather do that than you know.
Let her leave and intoxicated. Yeah.
There's some friends who are pretty adamant. Okay, even if we came together, we leave together. They're pretty adamant about no. I want to go. I want to go with this guy. Like, what do you do then?
I don't go to a bar with her
Ever again, yeah. Yeah.
You are off limits.
Because because then she has no girl code and she has no girl. Because if she's willing to choose a guy over, just
What about
being
my
safe,
safety?
Yeah.
What about my safety?
Yeah. The group safety. Like, this guy is not that important right now. You just met the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would make sure that she's okay. Like if you can leave with him if you're that adamant about it and you share your location with me and you text me when you get wherever the hell you're gonna get to, and you let me know that you're okay, then okay, fine. It's not my first choice, but if you're so adamant that no matter what I say, if I have to, I don't want to drag you out of the club by your hair. So if you're that adamant, fine. Then at least the minimum you can do is make sure that you're okay.
I mean, if she is
Yes,
adamant,
yes.
then there's nothing we can do about it,
Right,
right?
right,
But if we can still control the situation and tell the guy, hey, you know what, she's coming with me, and she's not seeing anything, she's like, okay,
Exactly,
I don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
Hey, AJ, you decide,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, in that
then,
situation, definitely.
yeah. But if the
Exactly.
girl is like,
I'm going
no,
to go
I'm
with him.
going.
Yeah.
okay, you're an adult, you
Exactly.
make a decision, you know? But I agree with you. Like, I probably wouldn't go out with her again because it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like, it's just a random dude that you met at a club.
Yeah, mine is like, I'm not gonna allow you to die under my watch. You know, like that's how it is. It's just like
You
I
just
don't want to
don't know,
be hearing
yeah.
that she went out with AJ and then she didn't come back.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that is my worst nightmare. It's like dealing with somebody.
Now you have to answer to their
Yeah,
parents.
the
Now you're-
The police.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
You were the last friend seen with her. Now you're the prime suspect.
Yeah. And even in our culture or community, sometimes if some parents are really serious about like their kids hanging out with one another and one goes missing or hurt,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna have to pay the funeral rights too. So
Really?
yeah, sometimes you're obligated, you know? And so I don't have
That means that we should probably put that policy in place for all communities, all cultures. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean that just gives me another solid reason where you're gonna leave with me. If not, then you go hang out and play by yourself next time. I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Another girl code that I have for going out is, again, don't choose a random guy over your girlfriends that are there. Don't be disappearing. I mean, we've had this situation before. We have a friend who just disappears with random guys or brings random guys
Oh, yeah.
into the group.
Yes.
And it's just
That's true.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so then we can't leave her with him, so we have to go with her.
Yeah, we're going with her, and
yeah.
she's with these random dudes, and it's like,
It's like you don't know them. You just met them, but
and there's nothing interesting about them. Is
Yeah.
the thing. Like if they're interesting,
even
if they're
attractive.
fun, if they're happy, like outgoing, buying us drink, they're attractive, but they're not any of those things.
they're none of the above.
Yes.
Wow. Then
Don't choose a random guy just because you're insecure. You need attention, whatever, over your girlfriends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
agree with that. Oh my God, we have so many girl code about going out. You know, just don't do it, okay?
You need girl code when you're going out to the bar.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
My girl codes are more related to like the friendship, you know,
Yeah.
and the friendship between you and your friend and like their significant other. Like you don't get close with your friend's significant other.
Why you gotta have girl codes with your friends?
no,
I have never
No, I
even
mean,
thought about that.
I feel
before,
like
but
I feel like it's like just unwritten, right? So nobody
Yeah, yeah.
really talks about it, right?
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
Okay,
not
gotcha.
something like oh, these are the rules of being my friends.
it's not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's more like it's unspoken,
Yeah.
like, you know, because I do tend to be friends with my friends like significant other.
Yeah.
But if I ever text them, it's in a group text. She's in the text
Yeah.
with me, and the only other time we would ever text outside of that is if they're planning something specific for her and they're asking for advice or they need help setting something up for them. Or they have an HR question. those are the only other time they would text me, because I do tend to get close with my friend's significant other.
Yeah.
But
close in a brotherly way.
Yes,
Not
yes.
in a.
No.
I have a crush way.
no,
Yeah.
no.
No, it's too
No.
weird.
Yeah, it's a little gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
Like.
I was like, no.
weird.
And we see each other as brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Exactly.
one more scenario that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Because I asked AJ this, so I'll ask you. We'll use us as an example. So if you came to my bachelorette party and you saw me cheating on my fiance, would you tell my fiance?
No.
Okay. Would you?
Because you're my friend and I've only met him as your boyfriend, but I would have a serious conversation with you.
Would that change if you were also friends with him?
It depends on who I'm closer to, who I have a closer relationship with,
You would be
closer
closer.
friendship.
You would be closer to me, but he still is also your friend.
Then I would just have a conversation with you on the side.
So you wouldn't snitch me out.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I don't make it my business to snitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my conversation, share my thought, and then depending on what you decide, like just with my friend, the situation that I just talked about, I decide whether I want to be your friend or not. You know, based on that, your morals. Do we align in that way? Do we connect in that way? Should I even be your friend? You know, in that way. You know.
And what was your answer?
Mine was like, to a degree. It all depends on what crime she committed, right? Like, if,
She's like, she goes, did they just kiss? Did you just kiss them, or
did
you
she
sleep
just
with-
have like a nice hot makeout session with him? Like, like let's say it's a stripper, right? And I'm like, we're all having fun. Then
Okay.
like I'll look away, right? But if it's like she went in and she actually had sex with him or like or whoever, and they actually did, then that's questionable. So yeah,
Okay.
Would you?
But you would snitch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily snitch unless if it was a guy that was like a really good guy, upstanding, and this is kind of her MO, then yes, I would.
Okay.
I would. But
agree
if
with you.
it was just some regular Joe and they're both kind of shady with one another too, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's their relationship, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
If she's my friend, but I like him more. If he nice and don't deserve it,
I'm snitching.
I'm snitching on you.
So girls' code is only when it applies, guys.
Exactly.
No, because we brought it up, and I was like, well, my response is I wouldn't have that kind of friend. But let's say if I didn't know him, I'm not gonna say anything. Like if I don't know him at all, I won't say anything. I was like, but if it was MB and Peter, and let's say MB cheated on Peter, I said I would give MB a week to tell him. Yeah. I was like, this is your deadline. You have a week to tell him, or I'm snitching.
And that was even more detailed than mine, because mine was like, I would tell him, but I would leave it open when I would tell him.
Oh,
It could be
really?
like a day, 2 days, a year. Hers was very specific. A week only.
Yeah. No, because that was
I like that.
That sit there and will eat at me, you know? You know, because you know, me and Peter, we are like brothers and sisters. So so it's like it would hurt me too for me to hold on to this and not be able to tell him if, you know, she's not gonna come clean.
But what if you tell Peter and he is enraged and then something violent happens? You gotta think about the consequences.
Then we all just die.
These are like extreme cases, guys. These are
no, this
all
wouldn't
extreme
happen.
cases.
But
It's not like everyone's gonna die.
All hypothetical.
But that's why it's not my business to snitch. Unless he's really nice and really patient and kind, and I'm like, you don't deserve this. I'm crying with you for you.
I mean, if he's already a toxic guy, I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like if I know the death is gonna be the outcome, I would remove myself first and be like, they will have to deal with their own drama.
Yeah.
That was my last straw, you know. But if it's not death, and he's actually an upstanding guy, he's really good.
Yeah.
You know, he has a heart of gold.
yeah.
I would probably. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was funny. Don't worry, MB and Peter are great people. That's not ever gonna happen. So, all right. I think that's gonna wrap up our episode for today. Thank you guys all for joining in. Thank you, AJ, for joining us on this episode.
A lot of fun. Thank you. This is great.
Maybe we'll have you back on another episode.
Yes.
But thank you guys. We'll see you in another episode. Bye,
Bye, guys.
guys. Bye.